All right, guys, we made it through the big storm, but it's snowing again.
Snowing again. We love snow.
Well, we definitely, we survived the storm. It wasn't even that much snow, but at our location, for us, we get all that wind.
The wind, it's the worst.
So we could have a big snowfall, a foot of snow, 2 feet of snow, but it can be like a constant storm for an entire week because we get winds that will come in constantly.
30 miles an hour, blows all the way across the driveway.
Yep.
Into the woods.
Yep.
So into the shed.
Yep. So that for us, it's like the never-ending storm. It's the storm that keeps on giving.
That's right.
And it's an endless week, especially last week, of just clearing the driveway. If anyone that's followed us for a while knows our battle with the driveway, it's very long.
Someday we'll have a snow fence. It might help a little bit.
Yeah. But
it's one of our future projects, so be on the lookout.
But, fortunately, about, 4 years ago, we got this gigantic snowblower. This is the Woodmaxx snowblower.
That's right.
So it's, we'll show it to you in a second here, but it's the SB72 and it clears like a beast. It really takes care of big snow loads.
And quickly, right? So 2 passes, you can have the driveway cleared.
Saves us a lot of time. You should take several hours to clear the driveway after a big storm, and now you can do it in under an hour, the whole thing.
Right.
But Brian definitely takes his time pushing snow way off the driveway.
Yeah, because when the wind blows, you want to drift it. You want it to drift off the driveway. So I try to, snow blow way off or push it way down. So anyway.
So anyhow, that's what we were busy doing that last week, but I noticed something was off when I looked out the window and I saw Brian wasn't using the snowblower anymore, but he was using the front loader to push all the snow away. So I had to ask about that when he came back in.
So we don't have a gas pump to put diesel in, right? So I have to use a jug. I have a 5-gallon jug. So I have to take the little caution sign.
The triangle
caution sign. I pull that off and so I can access the gas tank. And so, of course, I always put it on top of the tire. I probably shouldn't do that because then I forget it's there.
Did you forget it was there?
I forgot it was there.
Because Brian comes back in.
So I did the whole driveway, and then I went to do right where the tractor sits, and I sucked that triangle right up.
And then what happened? It spit out?
Nothing happened. It all just stopped.
Oh. So you broke the snowblower.
I broke the snowblower.
I broke the snowblower. But anyway,
I broke the shear pin. So.
It's designed to handle. I mean, it wasn't like it shot out, right? But it was wedged way in the impeller there. So
yeah, it got through the auger, it got through the impeller, and then it wedged in. So, do we do a little show and tell?
Oh yeah, let's see what the sign looks like. Brian finally got it out, but
I might be able to reuse it, but I don't know. You decide. So.
You might be able to origami unbend that. Yeah.
Maybe an anvil and a hammer. Get that working.
But it was jammed for a while, so Brian, because of the amount of wind we were getting and the constant, clear, Brian wasn't able to pull it out and fix the pin right away. So we did a lot of plowing all week long. We did about 6 more driveway clearings. I did 2, he did 3 more.
Yeah.
So it was a week of clearing the driveway.
Yeah.
Without the snowblower.
Right.
So good times.
Yeah,
good times.
Good times. So then we got more pins.
Yeah.
Some shear bolts.
Yeah, and we're gonna follow up with a story. We're gonna take a short break. I want to tell you a little bit about some of the freeze drying I've been doing, some of the food prep, what else I was doing last week while all this weather was going on. And we'll come back and finish the story because it gets better.
It gets better.
And behind me, I've got the Stay Fresh freeze dryer. This is a newer model that's on the market, but been very popular. It's a 4-tray model, and these trays are actually pretty long. They're like 20 inches long, 8 inches wide or so, 10 inches wide. And it takes quite a bit of food to fill them to get a full run. It can be a challenge to fill that if you don't have a massive harvest, like you're putting up a case of peaches or something. So what I ended up doing for my strategy was that I purchased a bunch of these silicone resin molds. But these are really good ways to portion things and keep things thin enough so that they don't get too, so that they freeze dry well. So with a little finagling, I was able to fit all of the foods except the cheese. So basically fit all of the foods into my 4 trays. I'm gonna put these in the freeze dryer and let them freeze for a few more hours before pressing start. Woohoo! Yay, the freeze drying is done. Okay, freeze drying is done. Now I'm going to take these upstairs, double check to see that they're really truly dry in the middle. There's no frozen spots, and then we'll start packaging them up. All right, so now everything's out. Now the hard part, actually, I think, is trying to figure out how to package everything up. So one way that you can do that is using Mylar bags. The Mylar keeps the air from penetrating through the plastic, and then you can seal the edges with a sealer. So if you're gonna be putting up a meal for later, like I've got this tomato sauce ground turkey, I might put a large amount of it in this to feed 2, 3, or 4 people in a larger bag. Now, if I'm doing something like slicing up a few avocado slices, I might do just an individual size bag that can fit an ounce or 2, and then I have enough for a salad or a sandwich or something like that. I had raw eggs on one of my trays, so I split up those eggs into, I had 6 total, all scrambled together, so I divided them up equally. So I've got 3 packets of the equivalent of 2 eggs per pouch. So if I'm running into a recipe and I'm out of eggs, I can add my raw freeze-dried eggs to that recipe in a convenient 2-egg pouch. You might find it's easier to put it into the bag if you break it up a little bit. So I've got it all crunched up in here because salsa doesn't matter if it's a brick shape when you rehydrate it, right? So all I have to do is simply add water. But for now, I'm adding my oxygen absorber. That goes in. I'm going to put the zipper on, but I'm also going to heat seal this when I'm ready to do all my bags. All right, well, you can see behind me I have a big pile of packaged foods. Overall, I'm pretty happy with my run. I'm just going to have some potatoes for dinner tonight. All right, so now that you guys know how we're putting up all this food, I mean, that was an impressive 10 pounds of food I put up last week. We could have it in case of an emergency, but you could also have it for an everyday meal. Yeah. So it's a lot of variety, a lot of versatility there with freeze-drying foods. Yeah.
Tell her to make more onion soup.
Yeah, we can't seem to keep the French onion soup in stock. Like, it's a favorite, household favorite, and we're out. So anyway, back to the snowblower story. Okay. So Brian's feeling pretty good. He's got the snowblower working. In fact, the weather warmed up. We had the final results of all of our drifted snow back towards the shed. Probably had 2 to 3 foot drifts back there, but
yeah, at least, yeah.
Easier to maneuver now back there. With Brian having redone the drive, the grade is much more smooth, so it's much more practical to get the tractor back there and the snowblower. Right.
So much easier.
So as you can see from the drifts that, you got 2 foot drifts, 3 foot drifts, and
it's dense snow, right? We're walking on top of 3 foot drifts without sinking through. So
not something you can easily remove with the front loader. It would take an entire day to clear it all back there. And so
when we're back there, there's no place to push it, so you got to shoot it.
So you went to the hardware store. What did you get for pins, replacement pins? Because we have some that came with the snowblower, just not sure exactly where they are at the moment.
Yeah, in a drawer.
Yeah.
So they're just 5/16 grade 5 bolts with a nylon nut on it. So lock nut.
Okay.
So that's just for the PTO shaft. Engages the snowblower, so that's where the shear pin is, or the bolt. So it's just one bolt goes in there. So if you hit something hard, it'll pop it right off.
Okay. So it's designed to break, so you don't break your PTO shaft.
Yeah, you just gotta keep a few in your pocket and a wrench.
So there was a near miss when I was filming. You almost ran over the power cord with the snowblower, because he likes to run power out there to the shed.
And then apparently just leave the cord.
Just leave the cord buried. Well, one of the things that happens when you get a lot of snow is that you forget where things are on your property when they get buried. So earlier I had to pull out the recycling container that was totally buried in the corner of the driveway. Remembering where things are is difficult. So when you're doing a lot of snow removal, I mean, you don't know where stumps are or sticks are, and
And sometimes the sticks fall out of the trees, right? So you don't know if because as windy as it is, stuff's blowing down all the time. So that can easily get buried in the snow. So, but I do walk the property in the fall and just make sure that rocks and things like that are not in the way, and so I do make some effort.
Well, things were pretty clear until Brian hit a stick.
Yeah, it was about that big around.
I think I filmed it because I think it was sticking out of the.
It was over on this side.
Okay. Well, I saw one root or something sticking right out and broken off.
I missed that one.
Okay.
So.
Well, and then, anyhow, here's the status of the snowblower right now.
So.
It's a little bit snow-packed, as you can see, in there. And why is that?
Because it's broken again. Just the shear pin's broken again.
Broken again.
So.
Well.
So you can see where that little mark, that indentation is there. So you just have to spin that and you line it up with the other one. Yeah, so you just line it up, put the bolt through, tighten it up, and then you're good to go.
We've been pretty fortunate in the 3 or 4 seasons that we've had the snowblower, have not broken a single shear pin until this week, where Brian's broke 4.
So the last time that I broke it, because I've got such big piles down there, I try to raise it up higher to get the top of the pile first. And I think it didn't like the stress of being up high, plus really hard snow, like frozen snow.
Frozen snow, basically like ice blocks.
Yeah.
So that was the last pin breaking. Yeah. So we had the sign, we had the stick in 2 hard,
icy spots.
Icy snowbanks.
But it's a great snowblower. I wouldn't trade this for the world.
He was really scared, though, when he first broke it. He was really worried that it was permanently broke. So
I thought I broke something in the gearbox.
Yeah.
So, but
luckily, it's just a shear pin. So that's the moral of the story: is shear pins and and having them handy, so you don't have to go to the store when it's 30 miles an hour of wind.
Yeah.
And
don't leave your caution sign on the tire.
Don't leave your caution sign on the tire. So. But yeah. Anyhow, we're ready for more snow.
That's right. Bring it on.
All right, guys. Well, we wanted to give you that funny little story, and we'll check with you next time. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.